What's up, everybody? That's right. It's not Marcus, or it's not Lisa either. It's the consultant. I've hijacked Marcus's show tonight. Number one, because he asked me, but number two, why not? Why not? 3 shows. Let's have some fun. The other reason is because he has an amazing, amazing team, and I'll tell you what. He wouldn't let me co-host, so I just took over. No, I'm joking. You know Marcus. No, Marcus is busy. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to have some fun. This isn't the Paracast, so don't change the channel. This is Marcus's show, so let's be somewhat respect. Yeah, we'll see. See how the night goes. But we're going to have some fun tonight because these two ladies in the back are actually really, really good. They're really good. I've seen a lot of their evidence. I've seen a lot of their what's going on with them. No, get out of here. There we go. Took care of that. Spam. So we have the Cemetery Diaries tonight, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's give a warm Paracast welcome to Hannah and Becca. Ladies, welcome.
Hi.
How are you? How are you all doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
How are you?
I'm here. I'm really good, especially I got a chance to hijack Marcus's show. Not every day I get to do this.
Take advantage of it.
Hopefully everybody wasn't too confused in the intro. So you guys, speaking of confused and awesomeness, loving the backgrounds.
Thank you. I like
Hannah, yours. I'm serious, Hannah. I like yours. It's like nice, relaxed, home, chill. I love it.
My house is like 2 feet wide, so this is all I got.
I feel that. Anita, Vicky. Uh-oh. We got, see, I told you, these are some of my people. This is awesome. Welcome. And we got busted, guys. Minnesota's here. Lisa Marie. Well, hopefully, Lisa, you feel better. I know we all miss you and miss seeing you. And Becca, I'm telling you right now that your lights are going to be distracting me. I have like ADHD. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Me
are those?
too.
Is that like, are those spider webs that are lit up, or?
Yeah, in the corner, and then there's like teardrop light blue pale lights around the edge.
See, now that's what I mean, guys. That's just awesome. Interior decorator right there. You don't do that for a living, do you?
No.
You should.
I don't.
I definitely would hire you.
She shops at Spirit Halloween.
I do.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That is, in my mind, that's our store. That store is made for us. So why not?
There's so much good shit in there.
So Marcus thinks he's going to be joining soon, but we'll see how the interview goes. Maybe we'll just enjoy ourselves. Leave him out. No, Marcus is working, guys. So he'll have no choice. I shouldn't have given him access to my account. But so first of all, ladies, I want to say thank you so much from Minnesota for joining them tonight. I know Marcus has not shut up about talking with you guys. He's super excited. And then he asked me to host, but it's work. But so let's first start off with the obvious. Cemetery Diaries. I think I know there's a story. There's got to be a good story behind that name.
I wish I could say there was, but it was probably the best name out of what we could come up with. And we picked Cemetery Diaries mainly because in the beginning, that's mostly what we did was just cemeteries. It was the most accessible, it was the easiest at the time. We're trying to widen our horizon and do more, but cemeteries is where it started.
Okay. I love that. Let's stick with the starting. Well, I mean, this is the bread and butter question, but where did it begin? How long have you been in the field and what got you into it?
So I know I've been in the field consistently only 2-3 years, but before that, off and on since I was probably 13 or 14 with my mom. Okay. She talked more about the whole spiritual side of things and the possibility of an afterlife, and she'd go walk through cemeteries with me as a kid. She would watch the original ghost hunters with taps with me. And then we got one of those old camcorders with a little video you'd have to pop in the side and then put in the VHS tape.
I know
But
that one. Yep.
we caught an amazing EVP one time out in Litchfield. And ever since then, I was really hooked on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hannah, what about you?
Becca asked me to join the team a little over a year ago. But other than that, I've been dealing with paranormal stuff my whole life. So it's kind of cool to investigate and be structured with it.
So it sounds like then both of you, it's just second nature. It was like one of those, without a doubt, got to get into it.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And, Becca, you said two things that hit very, very close to me. You saw my reaction when you said about the old cameras.
Oh, yeah.
16 years ago when I started my first team, we had the old VHS, like the big ones.
Yep.
That was like 40 pounds on your shoulder type VHS. I've had a VHS DVR system, cassette recorders, you name it, old school, we had it. And I'll tell you what, you catch some good evidence with that stuff.
You really do. I talked to somebody in another group over in Ireland, and he was telling me to get the best EVPs to use like one of those old original Sony with like all kinds of buttons on it, super confusing. But he's like, the older stuff, you tend to catch better EVPs,
Check this out. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. We're talking here. That's rude.
Mr. Wise Guy.
Hey, that's being rude. We were having a really nice conversation, and you just jumped in. Where are your manners?
Yeah. Anyway.
That's better. So anyway, where were we?
EVPs, old recorders.
So, in all seriousness, if you take a Walkman and you attach, where is it? There it is. One of these lapel mics. They work very well.
Yeah.
They work very well. I love it. I absolutely love it. And they're cheap too. I got this for like $5 on Amazon.
Can't beat it. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, have at it. Have fun with it. So, what do you want? You asked me to host. We're only not even 10 minutes in.
Told you I'd jump in when I was ready.
Kendra, you should have heard all the crap he was talking about you behind stage.
I was watching, buddy. Thanks a lot. By the way, everybody who's watching, and Becca and Hannah, you guys could be witnesses for me. Matt will never host the Minnesota Spiritcast again.
I think he's doing a great job.
He's doing.
I think he's doing good, but that mouth is what gets him in trouble.
That's what makes people like him.
Have you seen my show?
And by the way, we're coming back to your show, huh?
Oh yeah. I was like, wait a minute, are you? But yeah, that's right.
No, but seriously, for the Cemetery Diaries, I was watching how you guys got started, and that sounds really, really interesting. To tell you the truth, my first ever investigation was a cemetery. And when I went in the cemetery and having the ability that I have, I can't even drive by a cemetery without hearing multiple voices in my head. And this first episode that we did, which is not up anymore, but it actually all started by driving by a cemetery. And I heard somebody was in need of help. So we went in that cemetery and somebody was in need of being stuck there. They were stuck, They needed help. And ever since then, when we investigated that cemetery, I fell in love with investigating cemeteries because honestly, you never know what you're going to run into. It's not like going to, a house and investigating. You got so many different people that you're dealing with at a cemetery. So
I've heard a lot of people say that they don't believe spirits hang around cemeteries, but I mean, we've caught a lot of stuff there, but isn't that why we do what we do, to ask questions, to find answers? You never know if you don't try.
My
Exactly.
favorite one is when people say that spirits only come out at night.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that one's been debunked a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, by you guys too, because I was watching some of your episodes on Facebook, and the stuff that you guys get at cemeteries is phenomenal. You know, Becca, your name has came through the spirit box a couple times, and it's just phenomenal how things work at a cemetery.
Yeah, oh yeah. You never know what's gonna happen, and that's the fun
Exactly.
part.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny, and this is just something I'm kind of curious about, and it ties in. There's a lot of investigators out there that, like you said, don't investigate cemeteries. I personally, I love them. I love cemeteries, and I feel like any location has activity or has an
Yeah.
opportunity to have activity.
Absolutely.
And as a matter of fact, I use a lot of cemeteries as a training ground because there is so much going on. Whenever you go into a client's home or you go into a business or whatever, it's a little more mild, I guess.
Yep.
So, what made you guys decide to do cemeteries so much? Like, what was that factor?
For me, that's where my mom used to take me, and that's where we caught the first EVP, like I was saying. But also because it's just so relaxing to be there. You know, we would go there in the beginning just to walk through them. You know, enjoy them. They're beautiful. Read off the headstones, whatnot.
Mhm.
But
In I believe the Victorian era, people used to picnic in cemeteries and spend the day there, and people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people do forget about that. I myself use cemeteries to meditate.
Yep.
There's one not too far from me, and if you're into the more metaphysical, like meditation, Wicca, pagan, all that stuff that requires a sense of meditation, a cemetery is neutral energy. It's
Yep.
not neither good nor bad. It's holy
Yep.
ground. It is neutral, perfect energy for that. It is a perfect place to recharge.
Absolutely.
And
Oh yeah.
and it is so fascinating to see these people say, well, how cliche is it to go to cemeteries? Well, yeah, there's a reason, because it's the basics. We get activity, we get things. Apparently, we're going somewhere. Marcus got
Yeah.
so excited, folks. He's actually driving to a cemetery right now.
Dude, it's like negative 20 something here in Minnesota. I'm starting my car early.
Just leave it running for the whole shift.
Yeah. Well, since you speak of it, like I got a cemetery right around the corner. Might as well go.
Check it
You
out.
better ask
Oh,
Kendra.
we've been there tons of times, and honestly, that's one of our episodes for season 2. And that cemetery is just so full of different things that you don't really know where to investigate, because you want to be in a different spot when you're in one spot. It's crazy. So
Ladies, can you see the chat? Marcus, you just do you. But ladies, can you guys see the chat? We've got a lot of people in tonight.
Don't tell
So
me that.
I can
oh
see
no,
it.
they're good people. And I was right. And I was right. This is why I love this community we're building. There's a lot of people from the Paracast audience in tonight. And I just want to say to the chat and everybody watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Not for Marcus's sake, because he's doing his own thing, but for these
sorry, what?
Nothing. We're good. I said you're a wonderful person.
Yeah.
There I go lying. No, I love my brother. So speaking of locations and stuff like this, where are you ladies from?
Maine. Oxford, Maine.
Marcus, you do not need to complain about temperature, man. Seriously.
I swear, man, it is cold.
Go up their way. It's even worse.
You know what? I feel like I'm Santa right now. It's so cold.
We've tried to
You know what we call-
investigate in this type of cold.
I've tried out here. Like I'm in Pennsylvania, and I've tried, but nah.
We did
I'd rather
about
do live.
maybe 5-10 minutes in each place with warming up in the car in between stops. But it gets to the point where you can't even use your equipment because your fingers just won't work.
I did I don't know, Marcus, if you caught it, but I did a video a while back on locations. And one thing that I like to do, especially when it's like this out, is I'll just take a couple pieces of equipment, a recorder, set it up on the dashboard, and maybe a spirit box. Are we trading
you
jobs?
You got the wrong person there, buddy.
I don't know. And just let Lurker be Lurker. And
he's not Lurker anymore.
No.
I guess I'm Lurker now.
Well, you're creepy. That's for sure. But just drive around, especially when it's cold out. Just drive around, and you can actually pick up activity just in your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And if you guys don't believe me, ask Scott, Mr. Fedora. He had his car basically possessed. He turned his spirit box on and plugged it into the auxiliary in his car, and they were blasting the spirit box through that, and they were doing it in a spirit box section. Well, I guess after that, the car was starting to have troubles, and it was bad. It was real bad, but funny. So you ladies being up in Maine have a lot of obvious history. Now, I know you already stated you guys go to the cemeteries, but have you ventured out into the historical districts and seen any of the historical sites?
I went out this summer with my friends Adam, Vegan, and Amanity from Historically Haunted podcast and Witch and Life Guide show, and they brought me down to Kennebunk, the coastal area, and to see a lot of things. But he is really good with the history of places, phenomenally. Blows my mind. He's like a walking encyclopedia. But slowly getting into the history more of it with him. He puts a lot of stuff on his page, and it's very informative.
All right. Hannah, what about you? Have you checked out any of the historical districts or any historical locations?
I venture to them quite a bit. Let's see. Tuesday, I went to a place called Mackworth Island. It houses Baxter School for the Deaf. And the governor of Maine, I can't remember what number, has a pet cemetery there on the island. And there's a ton of historical stuff there. It's pretty cool.
How was Did you investigate this pet cemetery?
I tried to, but it's an island next to the ocean. It was below zero. I had limbs falling around me, so I kind of hightailed it out of there. I did a quick walkthrough.
So, do you guys have your go-to cemetery that you always go to, or do you guys spread them out, or how does that usually work?
It does.
I do, for sure. I have two cemeteries, one above me, one below me, but the one up on the hill is Pikes Hill Cemetery. It was established in 1798, and it's one of the older ones around here. There's actually 17 unmarked soldiers' graves from either the Revolutionary or Civil War. And when you go in there, there's just hard to explain, but there's this really amazing energy that I'm really drawn to. There's this one clump of cedar trees that's 7 trees grown into one giant tree with a hollowed out part in the middle.
I love those. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And there's just something about it. I go and sit there up against it and just relax, meditate, let this recorder play. Nothing like it.
I ain't doing nothing, I swear.
You guys are hearing that too, right?
Yeah.
What?
You don't hear
a lot
that?
of outside influence.
Yeah.
It's your microphone. It's the wind and everything else, just creating a lot of.
I'm not outside. I'm in the car.
Well, I don't know what's in your car, but there's something evil in your car then, man.
No, I did have a question for you ladies. So we've went to a couple cemeteries sometimes, and at those cemeteries were freshly buried people who, the dirt was still fresh on top. do you tend to have you ever encountered that? And if you have, like, do you tend to get like more voices and stuff coming through when that happens, considering like they're freshly buried there, or
You know, we've wondered that, and from my experience, it's been hit or miss. Lynn and I have gone out and caught some really odd EVPs right in front of not fresh, but the grass was still gone. It was like dry dirt. It was within the last 6 months buried. But we caught the weirdest EVP while we were sitting there. And we said, is there anything you'd like to say before we go? And it came through the spirit box and said, my penis. So, like, it is crystal clear, but it makes sense to me that a recently deceased guy would be more likely to say it than like an 1800s person. You know, that's one thing we've caught. So it's hard to say if it influences or not, I guess.
Yeah.
I could just imagine that, just going over the recording and just hearing that.
It's on our page. It's wild.
Which, by the way, speaking of your page, just for everyone out there, where can they find you? Like, what platforms? What social media?
We're solely on Facebook. I kind of pride us on that. I guess we're pretty basic. We don't want to put ourselves everywhere out there. You know, Lynn and I started this page as an evidence dump, so it didn't clog up our phones. You know, we never expected it to get to this point. It's been crazy.
Well, from what I've seen on your Facebook, you guys are doing a really awesome job.
Thank you.
Now, I did want to ask, though, because this is something that I've kind of been back and forth with myself. As far as activity is concerned, do you feel you get more activity in a newer cemetery or more of the historical ones? Because I've caught some great evidence in both.
We have too. I'd say we've caught more in the historical cemeteries, but then again, we also haven't hit a whole lot of the newer ones. Just because we're usually off looking on like dirt roads where it's not on Find a Grave, it's not on Google, like these way out in the woods. Yeah, she took me up the side of a mountain to get to an abandoned cemetery.
Done that.
Yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, a lot of people have issues getting access to these cemeteries, whether it's through local or just the hours themselves or the owners. How do you guys manage to get around all that? I assume you don't trespass.
No, we don't trespass. We don't go on people's private property. We go to the public cemeteries, which in Maine, unless it's on private property, then it's a public cemetery. And I have asked permission for a few that were on private property, but not many. We go at night, and it's risky going at night because it's law that any cemetery is off limits after dark. But we go in the ones that do not have a stay out after dusk sign, just in case we do, come across a police officer. We can be like, there was no sign, and hopefully get a warning and told to get out.
In my experiences, I've had police come at me and approach me and stuff like that, and 9 times out of 10 they start off pretty hostile, like kind of curious, and then once I flip them my business card and explain what's going on, usually they're like, okay, you're weird, get away from me. And they're just like, just keep quiet. And it's like, you don't want to come on, let's find dead people, come on, let's talk. And they don't want to. It's weird.
No,
never had a cop just stay and investigate with us. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. So we have yet to have a cop come up to us while investigating. I'm sure it'll happen, but it hasn't happened yet.
From my experience, don't run. I don't care
how
awesome you are, don't run.
No, I feel like I got photos.
They're faster. Troublemakers. Stop it, lurker. Wait. I don't know why. Okay, Marcus, no worries. We're having too much fun. I think he left anyway. Marcus said he'll be right back.
Okay.
Good. Now back to the way it should be. No, I'm joking. It's Marcus's show. No, for some reason, for some reason on Facebook, they're having issues either sharing or stuff like that. Guys, I'm actually one of the admins on the Minnesota crew. Well, actually, Lisa, if you're still in the chat, can you look into that and see what's going on? Because I hate for everyone not to be able to post. So about the cemeteries, what's been the craziest thing you've seen? What was the best piece of evidence that you had you guys just jumping up and down?
There was one place out in Otisfield that is a little old cemetery. It's mostly related family from the 1800s. Mm-hmm. And I've caught several things there that are really good evidence. One photo and one EVP. The photo was one night we were out there investigating, and I was shaking uncontrollably. We went to 4 or 5 cemeteries that night. That was the only one I could not control my shaking. Lynn looked at me. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you going to make it?" And all my videos were shaky as hell. But there was at one point where I was snapping photos and I didn't notice it until I had gone home and gone through it. And there was this apparition on the opposite side of the stone wall between the shed and the stone wall of the cemetery. Oh, and you can clearly see 2 legs, half a torso up into the upper body. And I had another paranormal friend of mine put a couple filters on it. So you could better see the shape, and it's pretty crazy. It's on the page.
Oh wow!
That same cemetery.
What about you, Hannah? What's your favorite? What's been your best? Got you all excited?
I don't know. I get distracted easy. Like Becca can tell you, I'll be like, "Oh, squirrel," and then be on my own. Like, but I have to say, what's the name of that one in Wyndham, Becca?
Smith Anderson.
So Becca knocked on the tomb and it knocked back. And I didn't hear it like to begin with. And then I went through the footage and I'm like, oh shit, that's true.
I don't think I mean here locally we have that cemetery I was telling you about. There's some mausoleums and stuff. And as a kid I remember, knocking on them and everything like that, just having fun. But now I'm thinking about it going, if I hear a knock or someone answer, but I think that's just everybody.
Or you hear housekeeping.
Right? No one's home. Go away. Excuse you? No one's home. This is a mausoleum. You're supposed to be here. So do you guys just investigate cemeteries, or do you guys do like client homes and businesses? Do you guys spread out?
We've been trying to spread our wings. We've done a couple of homes, a couple abandoned places. I'm working on a historic home here in Norway called the Gingerbread House.
Okay.
I had to get a hold of the town hall, and they're going to put it to a vote, and they want me to go down and meet them and talk to them about it. But hopefully we can get in there, because it was a big mill type building. Not a mill. Mm-hmm. It was a big home that was built in the 1800s, and they picked it up and moved it off its original land right up the road. And there's been like sightings of mist coming out of the ground and a little girl haunting the place. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with Lurker, Carlos, that he goes by Lurker. That does sound like an interesting place. And being a fat kid, I love the name Gingerbread House. It just makes me hungry.
It's the cutest thing. They just redid it and painted it, and it's very like old Victorian, and it looks like a big gingerbread house.
It does. I agree.
I'm not that far. Maybe I'll have to make a trip up there. I want to see this gingerbread house.
Once it's finished, they're going to open it to the public for tours and whatnot. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I am curious about something. We talked about a little bit about your past and what you guys are currently doing, but I'm kind of curious on individuals, because we all have, for our teams, we have certain goals and things we'd like to meet, and we set certain expectations for ourselves. Hannah, I'll start with you. What are you hoping 2022 offers for Cemetery Diaries?
So I'm more like into the technical side of things. Like I'm an amateur photographer.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping to learn how to use the actual video recorder. So that, we can set it up and do our investigation, and it'll be like a overall view of it instead of just clips here and there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Becca, what about you? What are you hoping for this year?
Honestly, I'm just hoping to get out more. We haven't made it out a whole lot recently with COVID and people are working crazy hours, but I just want to get out and have fun and meet new people in the paranormal field and learn from others, share what we know, stuff like that.
Well, like I said, I see a lot of my my audience in this chat tonight, so they have a pretty good inkling. Oh, what's up, Irene? Speaking of which, Irene is. I'll bring her up here. If you want to get your names out there, you want to promote yourself, Irene's the one to do it. She loves everybody, supports everybody, and I love her to death. I love Irene. She's from Japan, actually.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
So let me actually help you ladies out both at the same time here. Well, actually, we'll do one at a time. Hannah, you were talking about technology. You want to help and learn a little bit more. Do you guys have a Five Below or a Big Lots near you or around the area?
Yep.
See this little device that my phone's holding? It's not just a phone holder. This actually does a 360-degree radius, and you download an app. Your phones will actually record the video or the pictures, and it will track any type of, think of an SLS camera. It's like an SLS. It'll pick up on somebody, and it'll follow them.
Nice.
And it does 360 degrees. That's the
That's
first
really
one.
cool.
And only $10, $15.
You said Five Below.
Yep, Five Below had
Go
them.
get it,
I did test this out. Oh, PDX, Emmy. She's actually from Oregon. I love PDX. She's another good one to network with. You want to have some funny conversations? Definitely talk with PDX and her crew. Wow. But it also, if you need to, it'll also adjust front or back too for angles.
No shit.
The other thing that Hannah, I'm sure you'll love, and Becca, I'm sure you'll love too. You guys know when you guys are out and investigating, it's a pain in the butt to carry all that equipment. One of the smallest pieces of equipment that I think everybody will agree with that we carry is a recorder. Well, I found something that actually is 10 times better. Look, I know I have a green screen. Looks like a thumb drive, correct?
Yeah.
It is. It is a thumb drive, but it's also a recorder as well. 15 hours.
No shit.
Just
That's really
plug
cool.
it in, and sound quality is great. Sound
Yeah.
quality is absolutely amazing. You just plug it in, it charges. There's a little switch on the side right here. Turn
Do you
that
get a
on.
lot of interference from holding it, like rustling noises?
Nope, not really. It's very clear. What I got this for a client's home, and I just set it down somewhere, and that was it. And it has great quality, real great quality.
We'll have to grab
And
one.
Amazon.
Yep.
Just thumb drive recorder. It's right there. And you don't have to spend $50-$60. Again, everything I get is pretty cheap because I'm cheap. But yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
And Becca, let's make your wish come true. So I told you ladies that I've been working with a lot of different people in this field. We are actually working on an event this year that's called Para-Unity Day.
Yep.
What it is here in Pennsylvania, there is a local county fair. And if you guys know anything about county fairs, big deal for the community. Really awesome thing.
Event of the year.
Oh, yeah. Ours shuts down basically 3 towns. Well, if you ladies like, you are more than welcome to join us. And we are going to have teams from all over the U.S. and I'm hoping the world show up. And we're just going to hang out, have some fun, represent each other. And then the very next day, we're going to Gettysburg. And we're going to just tear up Gettysburg.
Nice. When are you doing it?
So that is going to be September 26th of this year. It's a Monday. So it won't be a lot of people. So if like, I know a lot of people are, don't like big crowds and stuff like that, but we're all going to go as one big group. We're going to have some fun, support each other, get to network, meet people face to face, and show the community, because we get people from literally all over the U.S. at this fair every year. They come from all over. And I want people to see that the paranormal community isn't, I don't know, Satan worshipers and negative, and we're going to break that stereotype this year. Good. And we're also going to break the algorithms too, because we're all going to be going live.
Oh God!
So you'll get.
That'll be cool.
So yeah, you ladies are more than welcome to come down. Bring your team, bring everybody. That is fine. It's a family event. And then, like I said, I know Gettysburg is on a lot of people's bucket lists, so we are set up to go to Gettysburg the very next day. Yeah. So knock that off of people's lists. And speaking of list, I have something I like to ask. I know Marcus likes to ask too. And I'm going to take all of his questions. So Marcus, you can just come here and just sit there and go, what's the parody? Oh, September 26th, guys. September 26th, 2022. That is when we're meeting for the fairgrounds. All the details are on Paranormal Consultant's Facebook page. It's under the events. No. Irene, I saw that. So I want to ask you guys individually, if money was no object, if time was no issue, you can go wherever you want to investigate. You don't pay anything. It's completely free. Where are you guys going?
Edinburgh, Scotland.
And why?
It's known as the City of the Dead. The cemeteries out there are just so different from today, and just the history and the buildings and all of that. I think it would be very, very cool. Go in the tunnels.
I got to give you props, Becca, because the first thing you said was the cemeteries. That is awesome. See, now, folks, that's dedication right there. Hannah, what about you?
Yeah, you put me on the spot here.
No pressure.
Welcome to Marcus's show.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man. Mount Everest. We'll go with that.
Actually, believe it or not, that's not actually a bad spot.
No.
Because there has been a lot of deaths on Mount Everest. So I would be interested to see if there's any activity. And Irene, I was just joking. Come on, you should know by now. It'll happen. So my wife, just a little backstory. My wife, right before Christmas or somewhere around there, she went to American Eagle with my brother-in-law, and brought back these. They have the underwear packs, the boxer packs or whatever. Well, one had anchors on it. The other one had like these mermaids and stuff. Well, my wife threw the mermaid ones at me on stream and said, "Those are yours," and just walked away. And I'm going, okay. So Irene's been hassling me to wear them. No, Irene. I know what those are, and no. See, I told you guys, this is my audience. I love Irene. Tim, what's up, buddy? But no, that's kind of interesting because, I keep hearing Suicide Forest, Stanley Hotel, some Gettysburg. Me personally, Hellfire Club, that's on top of my list. I'm going to the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
Not just for the club itself, but the church on top of it. I mean, please. The French catacombs, I've heard.
Yep.
I've heard a lot, but I've never heard somebody just say Everest. That is cool. That is a first. So, brava. I've even heard Egypt. So here's an interesting one. I don't know if you ladies have heard about this, but there is actually a city in Egypt, I want to say, that is actually a city that's an active city, but the residents there live in these burial chambers with the bodies. The sarcophagi are there, and they actually live there. One of my guests and actually co-host for my one show, Brian John Laverty, he was saying he'd love to go there, and I was like, dude, yeah, I want to go. Let's go. Let's make that trip happen. So let me ask you guys this then. So what has been your, I don't want to say crap my pants moment, but what one made you pretty close?
Okay, so for me, it wasn't anything to do with a spirit or anything paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
It was having a bear walk up on me in a cemetery. The cemetery above my house. That did it for me.
Fair. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Hannah, what about you?
Get bear spray.
Yeah, right.
I don't really get scared. Sounds cocky, but I really don't.
No, actually, I love it because that's kind of how I am. I'm like, yeah, let's go. But that's actually good though, because like I'm going to be investigating the USS North Carolina here in March, and when you go to places like that, and when you have that, I don't want to say no fear, but when you're just kind of, yeah, let's go. You put yourself in situations, and you can basically use yourself as a trigger object. And sometimes you get really good evidence because you have that cockiness. Sometimes in this field, cockiness is amazing. It's good. Me personally, if I hear something, if I hear a bang, I'm not like, crap. I'm going, come here. And I'm like, let's talk. Let's have some fun. So that's actually good. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I don't like entice things. I just like waltz about like nothing happened.
And
I'm just
again,
in my own little world, just hanging out, having fun.
And again, that's good. That's good. That is really good because we even said, I want to say it was on my show yesterday. A lot of times when you just sit back and just don't even recognize or acknowledge the spirits, that's when they'll start acting out even more. So that's awesome. That is awesome.
We've been out investigating for hours, asking questions, direct questions, trying to talk to people and got nothing. But then there's times we go out and we're just shooting the shit, talking about random stuff and recording. And in the background, there's EVPs coming through and it's weird. It is.
Brandon, what's up, brother? Brandon Crody from Paraflix and Paranormal in the Funhouse is here tonight. Sorry to hear you're still sick, brother. I mean, we need... I wish there was something to help you out, man. I really do. Irene says she's got connections in Egypt. And I'm just learning about this now, Irene. I'm hurt. Good evening, all from Toronto. What's up, Donna? How are you tonight? Now, Becca, you spoke about meeting. I'm going to say that meeting that bear. There's actually a cemetery not too far from me. We call it now Big Kitty Cemetery for a specific reason. Now, I never investigated your traditional way with my teams. I looked at it this way. I had investigators. I let my investigators investigate. I just kind of stood back and helped them and made myself available as needed. Well, there was another team close by. They asked for help, and they wanted me to help, train and teach them my way of doing things. So me and the other founder were walking around, and being out in wooded area, I'm sure you guys know, you always have to have some sort of protection, whether it's a gun or something. I had this, it's this air rifle, because we usually get small game around the area. So I had a small rifle. He had a 45 for some reason. And we're just walking the edge of the cemetery talking about, what we're seeing and radiating to the teams. And all of a sudden he puts his hand up across my chest and goes, "Stop." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Stop." I'm like, "What, dude?" Shines his flashlight, and there is a mountain lion sitting on the overburden from the cemetery. And I'm just like, hey, no, bad kitty. Speaking of bad kitty,
what's up?
Did you find your way home yet?
I did.
Awesome.
Finally.
Well, we're going to take this opportunity now that Marcus is back to play our new Para-Unity video.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
So, just for, I don't know if, you premiered this on your channel.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of you first time watching, we talk a lot about Para-Unity on both of our channels and many, many others. And what we created is what we're calling a P3 video. The P3 program is a paranormal partnership program ran by myself, and I basically bring people into this community that we're building, and the teams literally promote themselves. They have each other's backs, and we create a drama-free environment. So you don't just get the drama-free environment on Parapost, but you also get it in the P3 program as well. It was just a very tight-knit community, and we can't do anything more besides promote. And this video details only even some, because we've been having so many people join, it's hard to keep up. So even though this is a complete video, it's an incomplete. So we're still working on getting everybody caught up. So please sit tight, and the show's not over yet, folks. So sit tight, enjoy the video, and if you're interested in more on the program, joining, all you got to do is shoot myself or Marcus here a message, and we'll get you involved and get you going. So please enjoy, guys. Okay, so 3 things. First of all, Irene, I know that's why I added it. She said that the castle behind her is haunted. That's why it was added. Second thing, Marcus.
Hi, baby.
Marcus, the star of the show's here, guys. We got to say hi to the star.
She's
Raina.
So cute,
Thank you. She is.
Uncle Matt says, throw up on Daddy.
She's 6 months old. Look how big she is.
She's a big girl.
She's heavy.
She is the star of the show, ladies. And Raina, what does Uncle Matt say? throw up on daddy, right? Yeah. And Marcus, so I wanted to ask you, is that a cat that you were squeezing for that sound at the end?
Okay, so funny story. By the way, I do apologize about the watermark in that video. I will be removing that. But for the sound of that video, this video took a lot of effort within the span of 3 days. Because, we wanted to get the old Pair Unity video out of there. We didn't want that no more. It was amateur. We didn't want that video. It was cool, but we didn't want it. So this video, when I was putting it together, no, that's my computer.
Not anymore, Dad.
But stop hitting me.
Good job, Raina.
So for this video, I think it looks really professional. It took a lot of work because I had to message everybody on there. Everybody within the P3 program. I had to get permission to use their logo. I had to ask them when they were founded, who founded their team, and what state they're based out of. So that took a lot of work itself. And like I said, I had like 3 days to put it all together. Then I had to go over to YouTube and I had to find some music that was not going to give us a copyright strike. So what I did is went on there and I said, creepy paranormal, sounding music or whatever like that. So I pulled some music off of YouTube and I had to take the video out and I had to just use the music. And then I had to put all the fonts together for the video. And like I said, it's crazy, all the animations and everything. But within 3 days, the video looks amazing, I think.
Yeah, you did a really amazing job, Marcus. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. And like Matt said, this is not it. Like every day when I go on Facebook and I look at the P3 program, Matt's welcoming somebody new, and I'm like, you SOB, because I just finished the video. Like now I gotta add new people to it. So
I said
to be on.
I said everyone's welcome. I don't care who they are. You 30 years experience or 30 seconds. You want on the P3 program? Right. Let's go.
Exactly. And the whole meaning of Pair Unity, we've been talking about this Pair Unity forever. And that is kind of our motto within the paranormal field right now. With the P3 program, it is so organized that it's easy to keep track. Don't get me like that. You created it.
Don't ever use me and organize in the same sentence, sir.
You know what? I'm trying to be nice to you, okay? But honestly, it is a really organized program. Everybody is on there to show support for one another. And if you're not on there to show support and you want to bash others, then, see ya. Goodbye. Don't be on here. Yeah, absolutely. But honestly, with this P3 program, everybody is doing phenomenal. And all the investigations I've been seeing is absolutely awesome. And
nice.
We just released a 3-hour episode 2 days ago.
No shit.
I was sick of watching that myself. I didn't want to watch it no more.
What are you doing to my niece?
She's doing it herself.
That's right. Good job, Raina. And Hannah, I agree with Emmy 120%. That Maine Coon is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
She has them.
You have two Maine Coons.
Yeah, and then a little bitch kitty.
Oh. Which reminds me, I'm actually surprised. Where are my producers at? I usually have like.
I've been hearing someone's cat going off.
Well, do you want to see? Here's my bitch cat. If you could see her.
I see a carpet.
Yeah, I see a carpet.
If I can get her in there, she's under the bed.
I swear, if anybody sees like a homeless guy underneath the bed, are they gonna laugh as hard as I will?
This is my other kitty.
Okay. Oh, there's one of them. One of them was up in the air. Oh my gosh!
Look at Garfield over here! Wow.
I love those cats. Mine are hide. No, there are ones over here. Goose,
Well,
the one you heard.
this one acts like a cat sometimes.
For that comment, Raina, throw up on him.
You know what? We're gonna ban you from the P3 program if you keep saying that.
Ban you from the P3? Okay, hang on. Let me get to my phone. Sorry, Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Well, there she is. Well, Marcus, this is your show. Here, you ask some questions, man.
You know what?
I'm gonna go grab I want a cat now.
I did have some questions for you guys that I had jotted down in a notebook. So let me grab that real quick because there are some questions that I did want to ask you guys.
Okay.
Where's my little dinosaur? So, Becca and Hannah, I have two. Well, my wife has two crested geckos. The one is still a baby, so she's only that big.
Aww.
And the other one is a full-grown adult we got off of one of our really good friends, Casey, and he's about like this. And he's mean. He's a mean little SOB, but I think he's just mad that he moved. But the little one is, oh my gosh, she has her own personality. It's funny. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a crested gecko actually eat something.
Yep.
But she is violent. Like one we had just would lick like really slowly, real carefully. And then she just chomps down and starts thrashing, like going absolutely insane. I'm like, what are you doing? Because we feed her with like a little paintbrush because of how small she is. And she's trying to kill this thing. I'm like, it's already dead. Knock it off. And it's funny.
In the spirit of realism.
Right? Although I like the fact that they don't have teeth. That is awesome because she's bit me a couple of times. And it just feels like Casey said it feels like a wet sock.
It still jumps you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It still jumps you, though.
Oh, yeah. You still get a little nervous, but... All right. Well, Marcus, I'm going to turn this over for you for a second. I'm going to go grab a cat because seeing Hannah's Maine Coons makes me want a cat.
So I did want to ask you guys, which I'm curious about with a lot of the teams that we associate with. What is your pre-investigation process? Do you have a process that you take before you go on an investigation, or do you just go out and, use your equipment and see what you can get?
I mean, we usually try to start with like positive thinking and not have any of that fear about us, but still be respectful. And just anytime we get ready to go out, we just, I don't know, trying to protect yourself mentally, I guess, or you can carry stones or whatnot. But
So, since you mentioned, not to show your fear or anything, if you ever do get scared, how do you kind of hold that in? Like, what do you, if something scares you, like, how do you handle it? Because there is a moment in every paranormal investigator's life that something's going to scare them. We're not inscarable, something's going to scare us. So how do you handle being scared if you do get scared?
It really depends on where we're at for me. I mean, my reaction may be different if we're outside, depending on what I think it is, or if we're in a house or whatnot. But I usually get a little jumpy. When I'm outside and I hear something in the woods in Maine and think it's a bear, I have a habit of running to it.
Right.
Because I don't want to fuck with a bear.
Exactly. What about you, Hannah?
I'm pretty calm in most situations. Becca and I did have one. We kept hearing this noise, and we didn't think anything of it. We moved up the cemetery a little bit, and I'm having some pretty good interactions with this odd gate. This guy had the weirdest name. What was it, Becca?
Oh, I don't remember. I know where you're talking about, though, up on Paris Hill.
So I was like, I've never heard of that name before, and I was getting reactions with the EVP, the we used the cat ball and an EMF. So like all of them were going off, and the bear made a cooing sound right in the woods behind that, and I'm like, yeah, that's a bear.
I go to run. I went to run, and then Hannah's like, what about the cat ball? I said, fuck the cat ball. I don't care about the cat ball.
Right. So, so Becca and Hannah, we have a question for you guys, and actually, me and you can actually answer this too, Matt. Donna wants to know, if a child burns in a house, does the spirit stay?
I'm not sure. I mean, this is again why we do what we do. We try to find answers. I don't know if they're bound to stay there. I don't know if they can just go wherever they want.
So, in my experience, my years of experience, we've dealt with things being, and actually next month we have an investigation where we're crossing somebody into the light. We dealt with this before. We crossed somebody over into the light. It all depends on whether that child had a mission that they needed to accomplish when they were alive. If they have accomplished everything and there's nothing holding them there, then they are more than likely to cross over immediately. However, like you said, that is what we do. It's our job to see if they're still stuck there, why they're stuck there, and how we can help them. So yeah, it all depends whether if they still have something that they need to accomplish. So
Hannah, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I think I agree with Marcus. If that was meant to be for their path in life, then no. But if it was not meant to be for, I hope this makes sense. Like if their destiny was to perish in a fire, then they can cross over. But if they were abruptly taken out, they're confused. They're gonna be there.
Yep. And for our ladies on the show, we have another question specifically for you. Do you believe that there are different types of spirits, or do you believe it's just ghosts and demons and spirits?
Again, I can't say for sure, but I would feel like there are different types of spirits.
I believe in forest spirits very heavily. Very heavily.
Yep.
So I think there's a lot more to it than just ghosts and demons. Like there's some old shit out there. Some old shit.
Oh yeah. And while we're on the subject, Matt, I'm not trying to take over completely here, but before I forget about my question, what all types of supernatural have you dealt with? Has it just been spirits, or have you dealt with an evil encounter?
No.
I believe there may have been a time or two where there could have been something very negative on the other end.
Okay.
I'm not going to say 100%, but it could be. Yeah. And I've also had experience with UFOs.
Okay. Oh, I'm now you got my attention. Let's hear about that experience.
Oh man. So it wasn't far from where I'm at now. It was up on Elm Hill here in South Paris. And my husband and I were outside smoking a cigarette at night. And there's this orange ball floating in the sky. And then there's two smaller ones, one on each side. So there were three. And it was hovering above the treetops, just back and forth. And then it shot up out of the sky, completely out of sight for like 5 minutes, came back in the same spot, and then went out again. I've never seen anything like that before or since.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird.
Wow. And Hannah, what is your take on all the different types of spirits? Like, we all have a story of why we got into the paranormal. And generally, our story begins with we've encountered something. What was if you know, what was the very first thing that you encountered that got you interested in all this?
So when I was a kid, I would, just be in the living room or be in random places, and I'd see this man, a very like peaceful presence, just standing there silently. And I couldn't figure out who it was until I was flipping through photos, family photos, and it was a relative that had passed away long before I was born. And my family farm, my parents' house, that's been in my family for like 200 years. It's old as shit. Like, it's all like family members in there. So, there's Grammy and her moo like, even though she died a while ago. So it's just always been around me.
Right. And I think the coolest thing is I have never physically seen anything evil. I do have a story where I lived in Tennessee most of my life, and we were staying at this motel, and it had 4 floors. Well, the top floor was completely closed down to any tenants in the motel. Nobody could go up there. The only way you could go up there was to use the laundry room because that's where the only laundry room was. Well, we're standing in this laundry room and my mom is putting all the laundry in the washer and everything. And I look over and the stairs that bring you, or the door that brings you from the stairs into the 4th floor. Look over there and there's this guy and he's in a complete orange jumpsuit. And I thought it was really weird. So, I didn't think of anything of it. Maybe somebody was coming up to use the washer or whatever, like we were. But look away, and then I look right back. A couple of seconds later, he's completely gone. I opened that door, and he's nowhere in sight. And I asked the people that worked at the motel, was anybody in here with an orange jumpsuit on? They didn't hear anything about it. They didn't see anything. They didn't know nothing. So either my mind was playing tricks on me. Then again, I was like 8 years old. But I think the weirdest thing is when our team went to the Edinburgh Manor in Monticello, Iowa. One of my team members, when they were there, because I didn't go to that one, they shot a picture of the stairs going into the basement. In that picture, and honestly, Matt, if you want to take over the show for a minute, I can find that picture and show you what I'm talking about. But in that picture, you can see I don't like to call things demon right away, but I swear this was not a good energy. This wasn't a good spirit or anything. Matt, if you want to take over the show, I'll find that picture and show you guys.
Well, speaking of pictures, before I jump in, because I actually do have some input on the questions that were asked, since Marcus likes to skip me.
Sorry.
So I asked Mackenzie, by the way, guys, for my little dino friend, but apparently the little one is sleeping. So this is the big boy. That's the big boy.
That's so cool.
He's actually up, but he can't be handled yet. He's still not used to us. But so yeah, so who was it? I think it was it Donna? Yeah, Donna. So here's in my experience as far as spirits that stay around. It all depends on situation. You get your residuals that are basically just energy imprints. I do believe that there are spirits that do have what I like to call a Casper complex. They have unfinished business, like was stated. With the children, I think it depends on the age and it depends on the situation. If they're babies or if they're young kids, to say they have unfinished business, that's an understatement to me. So I think it's all situational and it depends on circumstances. I mean, it really does depend. The only thing I can say is in this field, anything is possible. And until we figure out what happens after we pass away, we'll never have anything definitive. We never will.
Nope.
So if something happens, if somebody has a story of a child or anything like that, yes, it's very disconcerting. I take that very personal. Even if there's a child in the home or a child spirit, that's top of my list, top priority. I've sadly had to help a couple children spirits cross over and finally get to rest, and it is very emotional. But 9 times out of 10, I keep hearing the kids say that they're lost. They don't know what's going on. So it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. And as far as the other types of spirits, again, anything is possible. I've seen sprites. Hannah, I saw you kind of perk up when I said sprites. Fairies, another word for them. Gnomes. Actually, there's a group of gnomes that actually live in this park, not too far from my house. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of weird things, and you guys, everybody has to understand how much of the world do we actually know? It's not a lot. I mean, we only know what, maybe 10% of the ocean and its creatures, maybe 5%. It's something low. I know it's not over 20%. And as far as the entire world itself, we're still discovering new things every day.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then what's the other one? What were we talking about? UFOs. I've seen some crap too. I've seen a couple of lights that, just like you, Becca, that shouldn't have been where they were, but they were sure there.
Yeah.
And my whole thought is I'm not one of those, ETs, living among us type. Like, I think the theory I read was the Men in Black theory.
Yep.
That's literally what it was called, because they feel like aliens are living among us, and there's a government organization that's controlling them to test out. But if you think about it, we have what, billions, zillions of galaxies all over the place.
Right.
Some are still undiscovered. How ignorant is it and prideful is it that we're the smartest?
It doesn't
They
Watch
lock
my
the
show.
doors when they drive by.
Seriously, watch my show. You'll know that's not true. You'll know that we're not the smartest. I mean, watch any of my shows. But hey, wait a minute. Marcus, I like these two, but it's very prideful for us to sit there and say that we're the smartest. There's no way in my mind.
Nope.
So again, in this field, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start studying and investigating, open yourself up to theories and things that you would only assume to be fairy tales, because in all honesty, we don't know. We are still very ignorant to a lot of what goes on in our own world.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't understand everything in our own world, who's to say we can understand everything in the afterlife?
Absolutely.
Right.
All right. Well, I went on our Instagram and I looked at those pictures of Edinburgh Manor, and I found two that I thought would have been interesting. So this first one is when the team had parked outside of the manor and they were getting their equipment and everything. So I don't know which team member. Hold on. Don't know which team member took this, but this picture is really interesting. They had just looked over and took a picture, and you could see that shape right in there. You could see it clearly. And, this is before the investigation even started. They had looked over and they took that picture, and voila, there was something on there. However, okay, Lisa took it. Lisa's our lead investigator, and then we go to this one that I was sent during the investigation, which absolutely blows my mind. Tell me what you guys think.
The black at the bottom of the stairs.
You see that shape right there? You can
yeah.
you can see the shape of the whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You got the head, and then you got the arm as if it's crawling up the stairs at that team member. It's nuts. That picture
almost reminds you of the setting for that meme. You see this coming up your stairs at 3 a.m. What do you do?
I'm gonna say I
heard that, Kendra. I heard that.
I'm gonna say I may be the leader of Minnesota Spirit Hunters, and I do not show my fear. But if I was to see that, holy moly, like I would have showed some fear.
Oh yeah.
I would have. That is crazy the way that they just caught those pictures so perfectly. And that is stone cold evidence right there, you know? You don't get a lot of, in this field, you don't get a lot of stone cold evidence. You get people who are in it for the, whatever he said, but he might be telling the truth.
No, I was answering Irene.
Oh,
No, that's about me. That's about me.
Oh.
I'm
But
not.
honestly, in this field, like I was saying, you get a lot of people who like to fake their evidence just for the views, you know.
Oh, that's
And-
hush shit. I hate that.
Sure, what's up?
Oh, I hate that when people fake it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I absolutely do not like it. And we have this guy in our circle named Mason Callahan. He does not. Is that how you
Both
say
of you are terrible with names.
Callahan?
He calls Callahan. It's Callahan. And he calls Brian Laverty Lambert. Brian Lambert. I'm like, who the hell is Brian Lambert?
But Mason absolutely is he's really anal about the MJC. Thank you. Shawoman. All right, see, I'm bad at names.
I'm gonna let him figure out who that is, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, he is one that absolutely does not like fake evidence, and he did a whole show on that, and I couldn't agree with him more. You know, if we're gonna fake everything, then why do we do what we do? You know,
Exactly.
because honestly, like, why would you want to fake it anyways? Because it takes all the fun out of it. You know,
does.
when you catch all of these, it's not Lisa, because Lisa's on her own YouTube. But honestly, like, when you catch all of the EVPs and stuff and they're all legit and real, that's the fun part, you know. So
It gets you addicted to it. Every time you catch something decent, it's like Christmas
exactly,
morning.
like you just want to go out and do more. It's
Yeah.
Irene, by the way, isn't it?
No, it's not Irene.
Man,
See, this is where Unity, just because he's here, needs to be in effect here, Marcus. Because
You know
they work very closely with PDX. Speaking of which, what's up, Jason?
Marcus, I have a question for you.
sure. What's up?
You're close enough to it. Have you ever visited the Edmund Fitzgerald Memorial?
We have not, and that has been a place on my bucket list to get to. I think it would be super awesome to go there and investigate. However, you know, in 2022, and I jinxed myself back in 2021 because I said when 2022 hits, we're really gonna put our foot down. We're gonna get going. We're gonna take off.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't say that shit. They'll listen and
exactly. You know what? And you couldn't be more true right now, because ever since 2022 hit, I got a call for 5 investigations in January alone. We're not even all the way through January. We've already did one of them. We're working on another one, and I've just been going crazy. But throughout 2022, I do have a list of places we want to go, and that is one of them that I want to hit. So I appreciate you asking me that.
Which I do have a question for you, Marcus, and actually Minnesota Spirit Hunters, whoever's all watching. So Becca and Hannah, we started this thing last year. It's called Virtual Investigating. What it is somebody is in a remote location or somewhere, you know, obviously different, and investigate with the team, and they do it via here. Are you guys liking that setup? Because I've only seen you and maybe a couple people ever do that, but I've always wondered, has it helped?
So when we were at the Boyd House, yeah, exactly. We were having major technical difficulties, and you can vouch for that, Matt. But to have you come on there and to host the show for us, here's the thing: we were all tired. We were really tired. and our equipment's messing up, and then we have Lisa over here. Lisa is nonstop, go, 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 go. And then one thing I know, I'm asleep, and then when I wake up, Lisa's passed out too. I'm like, yes, she finally fell asleep, because I didn't think Lisa would stop. You know, Lisa is she wants to go, so it's a good thing. But with you hosting the show, it was really helpful because, you know, we were able to display everybody who was investigating on an episode. You're not really able to do that all at once because, you know, we got 2 members in one room, then Lisa in one room, I'm in one room, all on StreamYard. We're able to put it all together, you know, and then you get to see from a different angle behind the scenes of something we may have missed. You know, it's just another pair of eyes. You may not be here, but you know, you can see what we may have missed if there was anything. So it's a good idea.
I was just kind of curious because I know I've done a lot of live listens on recorders and stuff like that. And in my opinion, what is a digital recorder? All it is a listening device, an electronic listening device. Well, pretty sure this is one too.
Yep.
So it just makes sense to me. But you're being called out.
Yep. Yep.
Where was it? Oh,
we had 21 hours, Miss Lisa.
I just need to get to Japan, Irene. Get you over here.
That is true. That is true, Lurker. I swear, when we walked in the master bedroom of the Boyd house, I was called a dork, an idiot. You can hear it clear on the episode. If you go and watch it, as soon as we turn that spirit box on, dork, idiot. I'm like, whoa. And then Carlos has been laughing at it ever since. He's like, they tore you up.
Well, at least they're truthful.
Wow.
So, what would you guys say is the craziest thing that's happened to you on an investigation?
Well, Matt, actually, take this away. Because you've had some pretty interesting things, huh?
Figures. The only time you need me to actually think about one particular thing. Oh, let's see. See, it's hard to say because I've been pushed, I've been scratched, I've been bitten. I've had my name yelled in my ear, in my face. I've unknowingly channeled. I've dealt with 4. I don't like really saying them, but the D word, not Marcus's evil, disgusting mind. The ones down below.
Really?
Those. Yeah, I had to.
Really?
Yeah.
They who shall not be named.
Hey,
Voldemort.
You know what? I mean, Becca, you and Hannah got it through the voice recorder. So why are you pointing this towards me?
They wanted to know.
Nope. But no, I've dealt with so much.
That's better.
You're right, it is. So I've dealt with so much. The joys of having multiple people controlling this. But no, I think one of my favorites was actually at a cemetery. In honor of you two, I'll tell my favorite cemetery story. Out in San Diego, there's a little town called Alpine, California. And there is a cemetery that sits right on top of the hill. I saw. Let's see. And they're amazing with names. It's called Alpine Cemetery. How creative is that? And I'm standing there, and like I said, I never investigate with, the team. I just kind of sit back, watch, and help whenever I can. So I was up on top of this hill, and they were all down below investigating. I could see all of them, and I'm just standing there like this. And I had my back to the parking lot, and that's probably maybe 100 yards away. And I heard footsteps coming up behind me. So I thought maybe one of my investigators turned their flashlights off and was, walking around. So I turned around, nobody's standing there. I'm like, huh. I'm like, all right. So I turned back around, started looking and whatever, and I hear them again. Only this time they were closer. I was like, what the hell? Turn around, nobody there. So finally, something caught the corner of my eye. I go to turn, and I see a soldier in full military uniform just slowly taking his paces, marching real slow, really, somber. And then he gets to the intersection, and you guys know how these cemeteries are with the roads, how they intersect, the walkways. He got to the corner, stopped, and did a complete heel click turn where they actually turn, like if you watch the Changing of the Guard over at the Unknown Soldier, does one of those motions, turns, faces me, starts walking. I call the team up. He stops, does an about face, and goes the same way he just was. And he got behind this little bush and just vanished. And we all saw it. But nobody was there, left no footprints, nothing.
Wow.
Later on that same night, I again was up there, and I was, we were talking with each other on the radio and whatnot. And it started getting a little cool. So I put my hands in my hoodie, like that little front pocket. And I felt a really sharp pinch right here. Real sharp. It actually hurt. I rolled my sleeve back, and there was a perfect bite mark on my forearm.
Holy shit.
Perfect bite mark. And I'm like, son of a bit. Do it again. And I'm standing there like this, like egging him on. I mean, that's how I am. If I get pushed or something, I'm like, let's keep going. Let's,
Yeah.
I tell the team, if I get pinned up against a ceiling fan and it's spinning, don't help me record that. That's great evidence. So that was probably my favorite. It was just one of the most active nights I've been involved with.
That's cool.
Yeah. How's the baby doing?
Well, she was sitting beside me on the floor here and kind of toppled backwards and hit her head. So
So pretty on camera. Raina. I'm fine. No, don't look at you, Dad. Don't look at me. So, Marcus, it looks like your second in command is demanding something. You're missing something. This is your show, so I'm not promoting on this.
Absolutely. So
you're welcome, Lisa. I got you.
So anybody who's watching and you need new equipment or anything, well, just read Lisa's comment.
That was the laziest.
Theseghosts.com, 10% off anything in the store. They got some really great equipment over there, and actually we use a lot of their equipment in our investigations. It is unique equipment that you can't find everywhere, It's all made by Jesse himself, and like I said, 10% off already the great prices that Jesse has. So really, really awesome deal right there. Thank you, Lisa.
I was going to say, if you would have stopped it at read Lisa's comment, that was going to be the laziest advertisement I've ever heard. If you want some good equipment, read here.
You know me better than that.
That's why I was worried. I'm out of questions. I want to get you guys on my show. I really do. I really do.
Yes, absolutely. And I would like to get you guys back on here because I think we had a lot of fun on here the time that I was able. Matt, it was awesome for you to host the show tonight. And yeah, I'd love to see you to go over to Matt's show. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
there, now I feel better.
I would love that.
Now I feel better.
Wow. Wow. I'll make sure I erase the P3 logo everywhere.
Well, Lisa, you're in charge.
Do you guys have any questions for our team or for Matt or anything?
Just not what's wrong with you. Just not what's wrong with you, because I'm still waiting results.
Oh, that could go forever.
Right?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. I'm exhausted though, so.
Right. Well, yeah, I do remember what you told me. So we are going to wrap it up here, but I couldn't thank you ladies enough for coming on the show. You know,
Thanks for
it's been
having us.
Yeah, thank you.
merchandise. Oh yeah, so we do have a shop with all of our merchandise in it too. I will post the link on social media so everybody can look at that. We have shirts, hats, hoodies, all that good stuff. So
Tell me you two saw his eyes go cross. As soon as I brought that up, he just went, yeah.
Wait, what?
You.
Oh.
I put that up and you're just like, wait, I have merchandise? Like you just forgot everything.
I didn't see that. I don't even know where to look. It's
she's biting me. She's biting me.
Good job, Raina. Keep going.
She only has 2 teeth, but man, they feel like razor blades.
They do.
Oh yeah.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Like having
No,
a puppy.
but seriously, I couldn't thank you guys enough for coming on the show. I definitely would love to have you back. Season 2 or season 3 of the show is going to be one team from every state of the United States, and I'd love to get you guys back in season 3. It would be awesome. Yeah, that's 52 episodes, guys. 52 episodes of season 3. It's going to be phenomenal. But yeah, thank you guys. Matt, thank you for hosting the show. And you guys can find Becca and Hannah on Facebook. Just type in Cemetery Diaries. You won't be disappointed. I promise you that. So
I will agree. I will definitely agree.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming on the show. Becca, get some sleep.
I'm gonna.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Well, I think they are phenomenal, dude. What do you think?
I like them. I
think they're awesome, and just the host, really.
That was what, 10 minutes ago? About time.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they were awesome guests. You know, to hear all the stories about what they have gone through at cemeteries is awesome. You know, so many different things can happen at a cemetery. And if you have any questions for cemeteries, definitely the ladies to go to. I think they are awesome people.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Go check them out. Just Cemetery Diaries on Facebook. Give them a like. Share some love. I mean, like I stated in the beginning, a lot of the audience is ones that you see on both, Minnesota SpiritCast, but also the Paracast as well. And you guys are awesome. And if it wasn't for you guys and the support you guys give Minnesota, myself, and many, many others, we wouldn't be doing this.
Absolutely.
And it wouldn't be fun. So, we always thank the guest and everything else, but I really want to take the time to thank you guys as well. And Marcus, you and Minnesota are included in that as well, because you guys are the ones that make, the P3 possible. You guys are the ones that make Para Unity possible. And you guys are the ones that make this possible. So if you guys could please jump over to Facebook. Lisa just gave the link right there. If you're watching on YouTube, please watch it on replay. Hey, Jason, brother, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. But instead of sharing just the video out, go give them a like and let them know where you're coming from. You saw them on the show, because I'm telling you right now, they're another up and coming team, 100%. And I can see them being another, Bad to the Bone, or a Portal to the Paranormal, or any of them.
Yep,
I can see them being that way, 100%.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that was Becca Thomas and Hannah. I didn't catch Hannah's last name, but that was Becca and Hannah of the Cemetery Diaries. And like Matt said, you guys make this all possible for us. And Matt, we can't leave you out, man, because you are a really big paranormal, or don't put me on the spot. You are a big Para Unity supporter, and you have made this P3 program possible for all of us to promote each other, and all of the amazing podcasts that you do and all the guests that you have. It's phenomenal. So right there with you, man. Same thing you said for us goes to you.
I appreciate that. And, like I said, I do appreciate, a lot of people have came to me and said this P3 thing is amazing. Everything we're doing, is amazing. But you know what? I'm just one guy. I'm just one guy. I'm not a big team of people. I'm just me. And all I'm saying and promoting is exactly what we all want. That's all it is. And it's you guys, the ones who take those steps.
Yep.
So, I mean, I would love to get everybody involved in the P3 program to where it's not even needed, which just the community itself. But
absolutely,
you know, sadly, ego is there. So, you know, screw it. Let's start getting everybody involved.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. All right, man. Well, we're going to wrap this up, but you have a good night. And everybody who's watching, thank you for all the shares. Thank you for your constant support and your pair unity between us and everyone else. Lurker, stop lurking on my shows. Just come on the show already. And actually stop lurking and be a guest. Anyway, but thank you for lurking in our show. Thank you for the hearts. And everybody else, you know, you guys are phenomenal. We will see you back next week with Doug Curtis of, what was it? Canada. Paratime Investigations. We got Doug Curtis next week. So
nothing going on tomorrow? Nothing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, and yeah, and then go over tomorrow and watch Matt's show. Who did you have again? I forgot who you said you had.
Nadine from Sundown Paranormal.
Okay. Well, you won't be disappointed with that. There is a lot of goofiness over there. A lot of goofiness. You think our show is crazy? Watch the Paracast. But I can guarantee you one thing, you will have a lot of fun over there. You think you have fun here, you're going to have fun there too. So watch his show, and we'll see you next week with Paratime Investigations, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and 7 p.m. Squeakers for Pacific Time. So,
did you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I hurt myself.
No, hurt.
Did I hurt?
That was a lot of thinking. I saw it.
It was.
And well, Irene, you're on that list.
Earlier, I was talking to Squeakers, and she's like, "I'll never get the time zones right." So I ran through all of them. I said, "Pacific is this, Eastern is this, and Central is this." So now I had to think about it. But anyway, we'll see you next week, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, have a good night. Matt, say it with me.
And as always, guys, happy hunting.
Said two different things.
Yeah, well, I said the right one.
Ooh, you're on the wrong show there, buddy.
Love you guys.
See you later. All right, give me a sec here.
Take your time. 2 hours later. I heard that, Kendra.
Now, okay. Do we give them a treat and play? Do we give them a treat and play the program, the P3 again?
Not my show.
All right. This is the final time. Have a good night and happy hunting.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.